All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back here to Honcast.com in our Hon Tour studios. We're about to have some fun. I'm Breaky CPK, joined as always by Tralph Medor, and we have a 1 versus 1 show match. $1,000 on the line, best out of 9. TTE Esports taking on Trademark Esports, Tralph.
Yep, of course, last time tdM were the victors over Complexity Gaming, and I really shouldn't even say tdM, but Zai, getting the Annihilation, and taking out all members by himself. So big shout out to Zai. Of course, tdM took that last time. Can TT Esports take it this time? We got some speculation. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I can't wait to see indeed. With that said, before we jump into the games here, Game 1 is actually pretty much set up and ready to go, but there's a couple of things we wanted to talk about. Again, so just an overall picture. This is a best out of 9, 1 versus 1. So let's take a quick look at the rules and how this is going to work as far as in the game. So as far as the rules go, as you can see, the players, they'll be playing the same heroes, of course, in a duplicate matchup. To win that round, you actually have to either get a Bloodlust kill or a tower kill. If neither one of those happen within 15 minutes, which the last one, that wasn't even close to being 15 minutes, it wasn't the biggest deal, but if that happens to be the case, it will come down to creep kills as well as creep denies. There's also going to be no rune spawns.
Right.
And other than that, I think that pretty much covers it up. So,
yep.
Yeah, there you go. Taking a look at the rules and how they break down. So with that said, let's go ahead and now look at the rosters for each of these teams and seeing who we're going to be dealing with. Trademark Esports, of course, we got My Nuts, Zai, the Complexity Killer, Insania, Noob G, and Olymp here in this 1 versus 1. TT Esports.
And TT Esports, of course, Slicks, Moravis, Leon Black, White, and Riser. And I gotta say, I really do think that TT Esports is going to come out and shine today. They have a lot of great solo mid players. I'm really thinking actually Moravis is really gonna impress us today. We'll have to wait and see, of course, but
yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun. The hero matchups actually have been changed. There are a couple of similarities from the last time. Of course, Soul Stealer is going to be played first as well. If it does go to that 9th game, which would be very epic, you got to see another Soul Stealer.
Yeah, so. And actually, let's break down the hero list real quickly. I believe you do have it in front of you. So if you, as far as the hero list goes, we're going to start with Soul Stealer, and then where do we go from there?
We're going to go to Soul Stealer, then we're going to go to Nymphora. Of course, last support last time was Andromeda. I actually did talk to the competitors, and they thought Nymphora would be a lot more fun.
Interesting.
And so we did add Nymphora. After that, of course, Monkey King should be a lot of fun and very crazy to watch. So we had to throw him in there. The next hero after that is Prophet. Now, Prophet's a hero that actually has a lot of strength in mid 1v1, so that's going to be interesting. After that is Martyr. Now, you might think Martyr, that's kind of boring. Why is that? It was a last-minute addition to this 1v1 tournament simply because it's really cool to see who's going to go first with that Q spell.
Yeah.
Obviously, it does more damage once you're at a lower HP. So who's going to do it first?
That is true.
I think it's going to be epic and kind of a nail biter. So I had to throw Martyr in there. Midas is the next one after that. Gauntlet is after that. Of course, Gauntlet wasn't the last time, but I think he's just a great 1v1 hero, very fun to watch. Bubbles is after that, and finally finishing off with Soul Stealer in that 9th game if it does.
If it does so happen to get that far. So again, best out of 9, you win that match, you're up a game, and it just goes by that. So if you win, you stay as a player. There's no decision. You have to stay as a player. Moving on to the next hero. The losing team, though, for that round, they'll throw in their next player who hasn't played yet. So it goes on and off there, and that's where the strategy comes into play in terms of who you want to go where. Now, with that said, Game 1, like I said, is pretty much set up and good to go. It is going to be Slicks is starting off here for TT Esports with Soul Stealer matchup. He's going up against Noob G, actually, from Trademark Esports. So what a way to kick off here in this 1 versus 1 show match, Trove.
Well, we were talking about last time how Insania actually was the starter for tdM. And he was playing up against Moonmeander, of course, in the round 1, Soul Stealer versus Soul Stealer. And we were all thinking, why are they throwing Insania as a Soul Stealer? But we were trying to speculate as to why. Did they want us to, maybe they didn't have a good Soul Stealer player on tdM, and they were thinking, let's just concede this one and work with the other ones. It was ugly.
No offense to Insania, but it was ugly. I mean, Moonmeander obviously is great and all, but Insania, that was fun to watch. Though. But again, let's have some fun today. That's what this is all about. $1,000 is on the line, so obviously that's great and all for the teams, but today it is about having fun, and the last time we did this, it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to having some more fun today. With that said, I think it's enough rambling on here, Trev.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
let's go ahead and look to get things started. I have let them know we are good to go. Zania tuning into the cast. Shout out to him. So it looks like we're ready, and the countdown has officially started. So, ladies and gentlemen, 1 versus 1 show match. Trademark Esports taking on TteS Esports. Game number 1. Let's go in. There we go. All right. So, as you can see, we do... As you can almost see, we have a freaking out right there. We're trying, man. So it is going to be a Soul Stealer versus Soul Stealer matchup. There you go. As we are now actually in the match. So it is Noob G for tdM is going to be on the Legion side and Slicks on the Hellborn team. Obviously, all this production, everything.
And
it's
BZ.
Still,
no big deal.
It's the beginning, you know. It's we're still somewhat new to this. No, but yeah, big shout out to Killer Orange. Obviously doing a lot of work here behind the scenes, and hopefully you guys have been impressed with it. So
let's quickly run down this and break this down because it does happen fast, and I'd like to talk about the item choices as they do vary a lot in 1v1s. That's one of the number one things you do see is the variance in item choices. So already some interesting things. Noob G going with the circlet, or sorry, the Pretender's Crown, 3 minor totems, 6 runes of the Blight, and a mana potion. Of course, I mentioned, if you remember last time, I really do feel like health potion is much better. Or at least a health potion and Rune of the Blight in a 1v1 mid matchup. You have the ability to man up in between auto attacks. We've seen a number of times of people, using a health potion in between auto attacks and actually having that little bit of life saves them and actually wins them the game. If you look over at Slicks, he does have a different build, of course. He went with the Pretender's Crown, 3 minor totems, Duck Boots for the extra agility and that extra damage to maybe get those last hits on that Soul Steal, which is very important. And then just 1 health potion. So maybe wants to ferry himself some regen, but nonetheless wants all the stats he can have at the very beginning because he knows that stats early on and getting those early CS is very, very important in a Soul Stealer matchup.
Yeah, this matchup in general, though, now speaking from a player side, of course, both of these players, Slicks, from time to time, tends to be the carry player. For the most of the time for TteS Esports recently, it tends to be the carry player, as is Noob G, of course, for Trademark Esports. So really, both teams sending out their carry player in that sense here for what is going to be the first matchup of Soul Stealer versus Soul Stealer, Slicks versus Noob G. It is on a US West server, so to clarify that. Now, how it will work, of course, with the 2 Australians, Whitetalaba and Slicks, those will be on US West. Moravis, Leon Black, though, and Riser, those will be on US East, of course, as they are from America playing the European Trademark Esports team. So just a quick breakdown of how that looks. So again, this being a 1 versus 1, it's a little bit different of a casting style. It's again, it's maximum 15 minutes, but as we saw in the last 1v1 show match, it can end fairly damn quickly, literally in the blink of an eye. So and it seems like with the way especially they play at this top tier level, the likelihood of it going even nearly that far is very, very short. So Noob G, though, so far, taking a look at the creep kills, 3-1 Soul Stealer for Noob G, 1-3 for Slicks. And, this is, especially in a Soul Stealer matchup, creep kills and denies, very, very important.
Oh, unfortunately, Slicks saw a very awkward kind of creep killing position right there. And he tried to use the Demon Hand in between to maybe get those kills, and unfortunately missed both of them, so that's unfortunate for him. He had a very good idea, it just didn't work out. I see a lot of good things actually coming from Slicks is right there, and okay, no, he didn't do it. I thought he was going to, but one of the tools you can do in 1v1, actually missed hand right there, is to actually attack the hero right before they want to get a CS, draw aggro, and it actually screws up their last hit. I've seen him do it a couple times, but nonetheless, it actually is bounced back. It's now 4-4 CS to now 6-2, so it's actually quite even right now early on.
Yeah, of course, with souls to either creep kill or deny, it adds you those souls. So it's, as long as they're even in that sense, that's what matters. We do see both hitting level 3 and both go with the level 2 Demon Hand. So obviously both started with that Soul Steal ability, but have now started to level up that Demon Hand ability. You see a couple of nukes going out right there on both sides. I will say Slicks is using, of course, the most recent avatar here for Soul Stealer. And I don't know if it's just me, but it always seems like he has a regen rune activated. I always get confused by that. But it is a sick avatar nonetheless. But you see him right there hitting the final one. With that said as well, there are no rune spawns, by the way. So to clarify that, as I did say in the rules, but to clarify that, there are no rune spawns. So for those that are curious, Soul Stealer, oh, that was really close. Did he have a long-range hand?
I think he did.
Yeah, it seemed like that was the mid-range. For some reason,
maybe
he chose not to.
Maybe he just simply thought that it wasn't going to hit. Actually, he's going to take a lot of trouble. Slicks can maybe get a couple more auto attacks. Noob G is running the correct direction. If he ran down, I feel like he actually would have taken 1, if not 2 more auto attacks plus a hand. So good thinking from him, but this is why you should not. This is why I feel like health potions are so vital. he is ferrying something, but it is a walking courier. It's going to be a health potion plus boot, so it's going to take a while, and this is all the time that Slicks is just going to soak up here in the mid lane and farm it. Slicks has saved up about 600 gold. I think he bought a bottle.
Yes.
And he is going to ferry that bottle to himself.
You know, we've talked about that in the past, of course, with the other 1v1 advantage with Complexity versus tdM, and a big part of... Oh, the courier! Oh, the courier's going to be destroyed, and will he take out the Martyr? He's going for the kill, and Noob G will fall. Big misplay by Noob G right there. He got so distracted by the courier, and Slicks just takes him out. So game number 1 here will go to TT Esports.
That was kind of similar to the moment almost of if you remember actually Enso last time where he got caught by the creep wave.
Hey, you know, real quick, let's take a quick replay look at what we just saw right there between us going for that kill out lead between Slicks and Noob G. So as you can see, again, that was a fun here. So here's a kind of a replay of what we're dealing with in that matchup there. So I can't actually tell. Is this from the beginning? No, this is actually getting closer to the kill, I believe. Yeah, so speeding it up a little bit. Yeah, it's still fairly early on, it looks like. But anyways, so while it's happening, you know, again, we'll kind of break it down. So what you were talking about right there was Noob G, and big misplay there at the last second.
Well, yeah, he just he got too caught up in trying to get those items from the courier. He just it's one of those situations where he wasn't expecting the courier to get as quickly as it did to him. And as a result, was trying to fiddle with his items, but then caught, you know, he was very, very vulnerable in that position. And Slicks capitalized and got what looked like one of the easiest kills in mid I've seen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was just like, whatever.
I think Slicks is in a better position anyway.
Yeah.
Because of all that time that he had to spend
Here
waiting.
It comes.
Yep.
Yeah. There's the courier. The courier gets destroyed, and he's just like, all right, free kill, I guess. And oh, Noob G was just like, whatever. I mean, yeah. At that point, he knows he made a big misplay right there. And Slicks took the win. So definitely a solid victory right there, of course, for TT Esports. So, hey, they're up 1-0 now. That's how quickly, like I said, that's how quick it can literally in the blink of an eye. And the game is over. So game number 2 is going to be coming up here.
Uh-oh.
What is our next hero?
Oh, the next hero is Nymphora.
And guess who's coming up for tdM?
It's Zai.
It is Xylation here coming up for tdM. So Zai, a.k.a. the Complexity Killer, he's the one that, yes, went 5-0 against Complexity and got them the victory for tdM against them. So looks like yet again they're going to try to throw him in here and make that early comeback happen. And, well, we'll see. We'll see. Can Zai actually sweep TT Esports?
We'll see. I mean, this is kind of a fun matchup. I know Zai is one of those players that does like playing quirky heroes and likes playing interesting matchups. So I feel like these matchups favor him just a little bit more. But we'll have to wait and see how Slicks does on Nymphora.
Yeah, that is true. And that's a great thing to keep in mind that, you know, if they got to choose their hero or something, maybe it would be a little bit different. But that's the whole point of this, that the hero is Nymphora. You do not get to choose around that. So Slicks and Zai, the countdown has started here for game number 2. They are just about ready now to go into it and take on Nymphora versus Nymphora. I am intrigued by this matchup, man. Now, way back in the day before Nymphora got that attack speed nerf where she used to be able to get attack speed from the Zeal stun and everything, that was actually pretty crazy. But she's changed quite a bit. I'm very curious to see how they build and how aggressive they play with her, actually.
Well, and also the Nymphora pod. It was much slower activation time, but it did a lot more. It healed for more, I believe, and did a lot more damage.
With that said, it looks like we are actually in the game now, so let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. There we go. There we go. All right, so game number 2 here between Slicks and Zai. Of course, TT Esports up 1-0. But this is Zai after all. I will say, I got to wonder what kind of pressure's on him, though, at the same time. Because especially after that Complexity situation, obviously we've known Zai for a while. It's not like he's new on the scene by any means. But he had that success against Complexity, and a lot of people started talking to him after that. It kind of makes you wonder a little bit if maybe he feels that pressure of, people are expecting me to go 5-0 again here against TT Esports even. Yeah. So I wonder if that's going to kind of get to him.
No, I don't really think so. He's already. I feel like if anything, Slicks has more pressure. If Zai completely fails here, he can always say, "Well, I still beat Complexity 5-0." So yeah. I think the pressure is off of him. Some shout-outs coming out. They actually did go identical items. They both have the same exact items. So it's always fun when you see that.
Yeah. Now, Nymphora. Nymphora is a very interesting matchup. And the big thing for me is that there's no ultimate that's going to come into play. I would find it very curious to see a level 6 teleport picked up.
I can see it happening.
You really think so?
I could see, like, if you do a lot of if you do like some harass and when you hit level 6 and they're sitting there in the mid trying to CS, but they see you, you go behind the trees and you port behind them to get a stun that hits for sure. Hey, I could see it. It would be a lot of fun. I think it'd be sneaky. We'll just have to wait and see.
So you said that this was actually recommended by
the players, yeah.
By the players, really?
They wanted Nymphora.
All right, well let's see what Nymphora is going to bring to the table. This is going to be a fun and very interesting and unique 1-versus-1 matchup. I will say there have been a couple of times we actually have seen Nymphora in a solo role. Yep. I mean, it's not like a Demented Shaman or a Witch Slayer support solo, but there have been those times, and so it seems like it is feasible. I mean,
well, you were just mentioning back in the day, of course, Chu played Nymphora a lot. There's a Zealstone coming out early on from Zai, doing a lot of harass damage, and good job by that. Early CS is just pretty much not really relevant at this point, but Zai doing a lot of harass damage. Look at how slow Slicks is, already below half HP. So Zai, good job. He does have another stun. There's the double stun coming out.
Looks so beautiful.
I know, it just looks so gorgeous. The health potion is being popped by Slicks. And so that's a small victory, actually, for Zai, getting him to use that regen very early on already.
Yeah, and you see, it goes W, actually, with the second ability. No, but it was different for Zai. So Zai goes as Volatile Pod here, where Grace of the Nymph was picked up by Slicks. What do you make of that?
I like the Grace of the Nymph pickup better. I think if he's able to he's doing a lot of damage with this stun right there. But Zai, of course, does have the health potion to use once he maybe goes to that CS. Yep, he misses it, but still pops the health potion. I actually think the Grace of the Nymph is better. It's going to give you that spammable ability on your stun, whereas Zai is going to have to, ferry some regen for himself with some mana potions or something. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, you're going to have more burst damage with the pod.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how that comes into play. There's a lot of harass coming in from both sides. Zai taking a little bit too much. The leveled up stun is there. No, he hasn't leveled it up actually yet on Slicks. He's level 3. I'm expecting a stun. And maybe he's thinking if he wants to actually level up that Grace, and he does. He wants that spamming ability.
Interesting.
So,
well, it's got a hit too, so
yeah,
make it more useful. Yeah, so missing that one right there, but yeah, Zai was taking a lot of creep damage too, so that could have been very deadly for him. But you saw no stun really coming out from Slicks, so Zai's able to recover, eat up some trees, as is Slicks. Very interesting though. These two players definitely going completely different builds. The level 2 Zeal picked up by Zai, level 2 Grace and Nymph, and actually Slicks is in a little bit of trouble here. Remember, she does have that volatile pod, but the great Zeal stun by Slicks to counter. And Zai was not able to finish him off, but man, a lot of harassment coming out. But of course, that Grace with the Nymph on Slicks, excuse me, it's always a lot of fun, is going to give him the mana advantage against Nymphora. So that is definitely something, again, to keep in mind here in this matchup.
It's giving him the mana advantage, but doesn't really look like it. Actually, he tries right there. Had he hit that stun, I feel like Slicks would have died. A lot of harass coming out. Slicks is going to need to ferry some regen for himself ASAP. But, yeah, well, I think in the long run, the Grace of the Nymph is going to help him because he's going to be able to spam over and over and over and not have to worry about missing. But right now, you have to go back to the very beginning when Zai did so much harass damage and was forced Slicks to pop the health potion very early on.
You just see Zai right there. He does take the Hellborn advantage, and he quickly eats his way to the Observatory, and he actually buys a mana potion from there. So that's definitely a slight advantage being on the Hellborn side. But as you've talked about, in a 1-versus-1 middle matchup, actually the Legion team is favored in really all cases simply because of the creep blocking and how much easier that is to do. So, and with that said, tdM did, of course, win that role there, as they got the Legion side, but didn't matter for Slicks as he still won the matchup, obviously, in the initial game. But Zai looking pretty good so far in game 2.
Yeah, he is. I mean, early CS is actually very, very even. But yeah, even Noob G mentioned, he's like, can we roll for this because Legion does have the better time at blocking. Of course, the Observatory for Hellborn almost makes it even, if not better for Hellborn, because you don't have to wait for that courier to walk all the way towards the mid lane if you just want to buy some fast regen. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, it does. So, by the way, I know we didn't show the roll. Actually, Slicks is taking a little bit of pressure. Counters Zealstone that will connect, but not really a whole lot of damage coming to Zai. So, really just harassment. I can't wait for this level 6 mark, man. Let's see if Teleport is actually picked up.
Nah, it won't be.
By one of these two. But they rolled, and actually tdM rolled a 9, and then TT Esports rolled an 8. So it was a very epic roll stage there. tdM won with a 9 over an 8 out of 100, that is. So that was actually pretty funny. But anyways, we got a level 5 Slicks, level 5 Zai. Oh, Slicks missing the Zealstone right there, but Zai does not capitalize at least just yet. The Zealstone one hit, the back end, where's the vault up on? Not enough mana for it. The final attack, it is going to be the kill, and Zai will come through. That's a 1-to-1 series. As a result, Zai, man, looking good here for tdM again.
Oh man, are we gonna see it? Annihilation? Yes, we are.
Oh my God, it's not yet. Not yet, Trout. That was just one win. It may come. He didn't even use the volatile pod there. I don't think he had enough mana, but hey, it didn't matter.
And even if he did have enough mana, I think the smarter choice was to just guarantee those auto attacks. If he used the volatile pod and totally messed up and maybe Slicks juked him, and maybe if Slicks juked him or something, he just wants a secured kill, so why not just use those auto attacks? So there's a final one. Yeah. Zai does get credit for the kill. Placing this tournament, well, not mini tournament, but placing this match 1-1 so far. It's all tied up.
Yeah, it is. And who is the next matchup now with Heroes at least? Is it Monkey King?
The next matchup is a Monkey King. I expect to see Riser.
Riser?
The Monkey King.
Is he the MK player for TteS Sports? All right, we'll see. Of course, need to get the lobby up here and join the game. It looks like they are getting it up. I am very interested. Now, this is a fun matchup. This really is. Let's just say both teams are lucky that Cookies isn't playing.
Yeah, well, you know, Zai actually really loves playing Monkey King as well. This is going to be really fun.
True. That's actually a great point. Zai does play the Monkey King. So, man, this is going to be a fun matchup, no doubt. Zai versus, indeed, it is Riser. So you guessed correctly there, Tralf. It is going to be Riser for TteS Sports. So we're tied at 1 game apiece now, not to bring up history, but as soon as I say that, I'm going to bring up history. When they fought Complexity, when Trademark played Complexity, they lost the first game. Zai won, and he just did not lose from there on out. So that ended up being a 5-1 series there. I'm just saying. History could repeat itself. There is that chance, but TteS Sports, they're looking to make that not happen, of course, and they're looking to be victorious. $1,000, winner takes all. Ooh. Is on the line. So game 3 coming out, man. Monkey King, looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's Monkey King's crazy. Now, obviously, I know a lot of you realize the potential of Monkey King and how much power he has, but it's always awkward when you're playing against the same hero. So it's a little bit different. You got to play a little bit differently, and it's going to be crazy because part of Monkey King's power is you disjoint heroes so quickly and displace them very often. But now it's going to have to happen on both sides, so we'll have to wait and see.
That's true. Yeah. That is going to be. They're going to be all over the place, man. It's going to be so chaotic. With that said, it has officially started. The countdown from the selection stage is going on. Let's go ahead and jump in to game number 3 here. Zai versus Riser. There you are. All right, so loading into the game. Of course, Zai this time is going to be on the Legion side, and Riser on the Hellborn side. You see the alternate skins. That's always another fun part of this, kind of a side thing, but you get to see the different skins that they play sometimes, and there are different skins, right? I believe Riser's using the Jade, and then this is not sure what this one is called that Zai is using, but they are actually different skins here. Not mistaken. Yeah, they definitely are. So
yeah, I don't know what the one Zai is using either.
Ooh, but interesting starting items though.
Yeah, Riser is actually going to go for that shield. So he wants to mitigate a lot of that damage, and I actually think that's a smarter choice. Now, Zai, this would be, I feel like what Zai's doing, a better choice in a real game. Like getting those last hits with that hatch hit. But in a 1v1 matchup, you don't know because a lot of times you just want to be aggressive early on, and sometimes you don't even have time to get those items that you need to. So sometimes I feel like getting the more defensive item is a smarter route. We'll have to see how this ultimately plays out. But, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
As you can see right there, I just wanted to double-check. But sure enough, it is a U.S. East server, of course, with it being a European versus U.S. West player in Riser. It is going to be a U.S. East server this time, and I'm sure Zai is happy about that, not having to play on U.S. West like the last game, but still won nonetheless. But you said it, man. I mean, Monkey King versus Monkey King. It sounds like this could be a very, very entertaining matchup simply because it's going to be so chaotic. They're going to be flying all over the place, and I'm not going to know what's going to happen. All of a sudden, Bloodlust is going to come out and be like, all right, well, there you go. There's the result. So here we go, though. Hero or creep blocking has begun. You see Zai down here on the Legion side taking advantage and doing it very well as always. And so is Riser, so we'll see where they eventually meet up.
One of the things about Monkey King, too, is his animation, his turn rate is so good and so fast. So it's very easy to juke people. It's very easy to pull those creeps away from them. And, yeah, I will say that Zai, right there with an early deny, of course, that hatchet coming into play right there. He is going to get a lot of CS early on, unless Riser's able to capitalize and be aggressive early on. That's what he needs to do with that shield, is you want to attack them. And he needs to realize that with Zai not having a shield, he's obviously not going to mitigate a lot of damage. So I think Riser needs to take the focus off of getting last hits, getting those CS. Actually misses one right there. But put the focus on harassing Zai.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Riser does take advantage of that. Of course, being in the uphill, not necessarily the best position to apply that harassment.
Right.
So Zaya should be safe for now, but both sides, they're going to run into each other right here. There's a couple of auto attacks coming out, but so far, very slow start as you would expect. But look at this massive creep wave, actually, in favor of Zai. So he's going to hit at least level 2 here and hopefully get some decent creep farm out of this. So you do see Riser, of course, not afraid to push up this far, but as long as he doesn't aggro the tower, you see Zai going in, but kind of missing even, and Riser's going to be more than fine. But yeah, it's going to be, we're going to see a level 3 Zai right here as a result of this mass push.
Yeah, it's actually putting a little bit of damage onto him, but nope. He wanted to go back and get those creeps. Yeah, if he's able to be actually aggressive right now, yes, he does have that level advantage, but no, he kind of misses a little bit of an opportunity right there. So, yeah, I think that Riser could have been a little bit more aggressive, and as a result, is kind of being a little bit passive right now, and that's going to favor Zai with that hatchet.
You see the jump right there. There's the combo. Oh, again, that's what we're talking about. Oh, look at the damage. Oh, holy crap. That is Monkey King for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Riser just absolutely destroys Zai right there. Wow, I need to watch that replay because I have no clue what just happened there. That's what I said, though. That's why it's going to be so chaotic. What the hell just happened, Trell?
You know, I'll tell you, and when we see this, is when you use the first vault, the second one comes so late that you don't almost expect it because of the change. And, yeah, he did use that double Q. It just did so much damage. And, yeah, Riser knows how to play that hero.
Wow. Yeah, he does. I mean, that completely caught Zai off guard from what you could tell. So, well, we're not going to see a Zaiolation today, Trelf. I know that disappoints you. You're so excited to say that after one game.
I know.
No, but Riser coming back here in Game 3. So we got a series, ladies and gentlemen. We have a 2-1 lead now in favor of TteS Esports. Again, $1,000 is on the line. Looking forward to seeing how this continues. So a lot of fun, just like last time. So it is going to be Riser taking on the next opponent. So who do you put in if you're tdM? Which hero's next?
It is Prophet.
Prophet, one of the newer heroes, of course. And as you gave your opinion several times, seems like this is a hero that we can expect to see on the competitive scene. Yeah. Also a powerful solo hero.
Yeah, I think in the competitive scene, Prophet's going to see his time as more of a support hero and will be very effective. But that doesn't mean that support heroes cannot be like very strong in mid. Of course, a hero that comes to mind is Aluna. Aluna's a very strong solo mid, but also played as one of the most played support heroes in the game. Well, Prophet's the same way. Of course, we haven't seen him in competitive play really, but this is just a look of things to come.
Yeah. So with that said, of course, they cannot use Zai or Noob G, so they got Insania, Limp, and My Nuts left. Who do you think?
For this matchup, I think it's going to be My Nuts. I have a feeling. I feel like they've already lost two of their very strong, solo players, being Zai and Noob G, and you don't want to throw all your eggs in the basket right away.
Yeah.
And then, nothing against these players, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just simply saying that I think their solo heroes, the stronger ones, have kind of already gone through right now.
It is going to be My Nuts, it looks like. It looks like he did sit down, so.
I'm so good at this.
You are, let me brush those shoulders off for you, buddy.
You missed something.
There you go. There you go. Looking good. Looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so My Nuts versus Riser is going to be the matchup apparently here. And again, it's going to be a Prophet matchup. So I don't know what's going to happen. This is a newer hero. I have had the chance to play him a couple times myself.
He's a beast. He's a beast solo.
Yeah.
Man. He really is. He does a lot of damage, a lot of like fast damage. And I expect this to end rather quickly, actually, because of how much damage he does do.
Really? Okay. They're going to go ahead and get the countdown started. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 4 here. TteS Esports currently up 2-1. Prophet matchup coming up. Let's take a look. There you are. So, of course, the countdown has started, as you can see. 1 second, and now loading into the game. So this time, it is going to be tdM My Nuts on the Hellborn side, and, of course, Riser for TteS Esports will be on the Legion side. How about the start to this, though? Look at My Nuts going Ring of the Teacher Health Potion here, whereas Riser going so far a couple of Minor Totems Health Potion and Trees. Interesting.
Yeah, the Ring of the Teacher. I'm not quite sure. I do see people do this from time to time in mid, and it gives you a lot of sustainability. Obviously, you have good damage. You can actually toggle it on and off constantly and screw up their last hitting. But I don't know if that's a very effective tool in a 1v1 matchup, because in 1v1 matchups, as you've seen, You know, Riser last game had barely any CS. You know, Zai had lots of CS, but it doesn't matter in a 1v1 because ultimately most games get decided by first blood. And I think that's the easiest way and the way that most players are trying to play these matchups. So that being said, I like the item builds that give you a lot of quick regen. That's why I like health potions and lots of damage.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that may have an effect on, of course, my nuts plan for TDM. But the horn is still yet to blow here. About 10 more seconds before it starts. The new Halloween theme, of course. It's I find it very interesting with the ghoul thing going on. But Prophet, man, now level 6 again. Do you expect to see the ultimate at level 6 still, despite it being a 1 versus 1, or?
Well, the ultimate still. I mean, yes, it does propagate. If you guys don't know, his ultimate it creates like a radius. If I want to say, let me double check on this. It's
450.
450. Okay, so it's a decent sized radius, and everybody in it. So it's great for team fights. Everybody in it, your spells will propagate to those heroes, both offensive and defensive. So your W spell, the Invigorate, I think is what it's called, will heal all of your allies that are in that. Well, of course, also the bubble, the shared fate, the ult from Prophet does slow by, I think, a decent amount. Let me just double check.
50% it looks like.
Yeah, so it's a decent amount. Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see. It's to the discretion of the players. But personally, I wouldn't get it. I would get something like Invigorate or maybe another spell into Persecution. We'll have to wait and see what they do.
Yeah, of course, we do see both get Persecution to start. And look at Riser right off the bat going aggressive here against MyNuts. But MyNuts responding, and a lot of harassment right off the bat between these two players. Finally going to fall back and maybe puts a rage on. You see Riser going aggressive, and he's going to eat a tree on the Hellborn side. But level 1, Prophet aggression, man.
Yeah, and Riser's doing the right thing. He knows that MyNuts only has one piece of regen to work with, so if we get him down enough to actually pop that, then he's pretty much got free reign on him.
Yeah.
So MyNuts doing a good job of actually not popping it early. He needs to not use that health potion early. Otherwise, he is going to be in a very, very horrible position. But right now, it's kind of a very early stage. You know, CS doesn't matter that much. And actually, he already ferries himself some regen. So good job by MyNuts. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, going to eat those trees. I'm not going to waste the health potion, at least just yet. But again, he needs to be a little bit careful because Riser, he's got a combo ready to go. That Q, a.k.a. the Debilitate ability. It can put out some decent burst damage. But MyNuts will level 3 first because of the massive creep wave that, again, just like last game, Riser on the Monkey King, he pushed that creep wave up very, very aggressively. But now it's going to go back in his favor. And there you go. You see him hitting level 3. So let's take a look at how they're building. Actually, there we go with the nuke coming out onto MyNuts. It's not going to be enough damage. So, but Riser going to chase him all the way back. And I'm sure a health potion, in fact, there we go, going to be used. But as you can see, Invigorate was picked up by MyNuts right there, and then we have Riser who going to level 2 Debilitate instead.
Okay, so I think the Invigorate spell does work a little bit better with the Ring of the Teacher. Like I said, he's going to have a lot better time as this goes late. So the later this goes, I feel like this is going to favor MyNuts. But I think the more standard build is what Riser's doing. It provides a lot of burst, and we've already seen that coming out so far. Yeah. And he does actually pick up a power supply in full. So realizing that, you know, MyNuts has the Ring of the Teacher, he's going to have that constant mana regen, he's going to be casting spells frequently. Power supply is good for that.
Yeah. Again, you see the harassment coming out, but MyNuts going to be more than fine. Currently out of regen, though, and the courier's not on its way. So again, Riser, that's where he definitely has an advantage. He still has a health potion on him. And as you said, that power supply is being delivered. It looks like MyNuts, he's going to level up Invigorate again, so he's staying away from Debilitate here against Riser. But as you talked to, maybe with the Ring of the Teacher, that perhaps makes a little bit more sense. But, man, the harassment seems to be non-stop in this matchup, but no kills coming out just yet. So we'll see how that eventually plays out. But
I got to say, the Invigorate going this kind of build is more of the wussy route, I have to say. It's kind of like, I'm going to wait for you to screw up. And like, he's not going to be able to kill him, like just going on him. He's just simply not going to have the damage. He's going to have to wait till Riser kind of dives or something like that. So this might be a passive game as a result of that.
Yeah.
I just got to say.
Well,
I mean, Invigorate's good. Actually, what I like to see Prophet do is actually go, like, max your Q. I know a lot of people get Persecution, but I think maxing your Q Debilitate is much stronger and going 1-1, like, by the time you're level 5. And then once you hit 6, if you're in a 1v1 matchup, maybe putting another spell into your Persecution. The reason is sometimes you put that Persecution on and you're just simply not able to get those auto attacks in.
Yeah.
That's why I like guaranteed damage.
Exactly. The guaranteed burst. You got the level 4 Debilitate. That's 260 magic damage on top of a 20% damage buff to everything you do against him. So, yeah, it seems like that's that's definitely a powerful tool. Again, this is a kind of a newer hero, especially for me, you know, casting it. So learning along the way, as I'm sure viewers out there perhaps as well. But Minet's going to start applying some pressure to the Legion Tower, and that's something to keep in mind. If this tends to be more passive, it's either Bloodlust kill or Tower kill first will get you to the victory. If it happens to reach 15 minutes, then it comes down to creep kills plus creep denies. But in this matchup, Tower kill, it could be possible. So
it could actually. Look how much damage he's already done in the tower, and with this kind of build, he's going to be able to sit there and just basically auto-attack creeps down and activate that Ring of the Teacher. And because he has that level 2 in Invigorate, actually Riser doing a lot of damage.
Jeez.
Doing a lot of damage, actually, even with that Invigorate. And Invigorate actually does a lot for, like, level 1. It heals. Let me see the scaling of this if I can. Oh, it's going to be hard. Okay, 75. Yeah. So at 75, at level 1, it does 75 heal. But at level 2, it only does 100. So you're only getting. So that's why I think it's a 1-point wonder. Getting anything more into that is, yeah, it gives you great attack speed, but that's not really worth it in my opinion. I like it for the heal.
Yeah, that's very, very true. So definitely one of those 1-point wonder. Oh, Midas taking a lot of pressure right here. He's going to be in trouble, actually. Riser chasing one more attack. Yes, it is going to be a kill. And Riser will take a 3-1 lead in favor of TT Esports right there, as the GG well playeds come out. So it looked like it may have been more of a passive game, but in the end, Riser comes through and takes out my nuts for tdM. So how about that? That kind of just came to a shocking finish right there all of a sudden. But I don't know if that was a case of my nuts just not realizing the potential, that burst damage that Riser actually had, or maybe thought he could survive through it, but clearly could not.
Well, like you mentioned, the Q, the debilitate, and actually we can see here in the replay just how much damage potential this hero has. And there's the debilitate, there's the E-spell on top of that, and just look at that damage coming out. And it also stops him and gives him a little bit of a mini-stun, so you can catch up and keep auto-attacking them over and over after that. So good job by Riser. And like you mentioned, yes, it does do that spam ability, the instant damage, but also, like you said, I don't think players really, this is one of the things, is maybe players don't realize the potential of this hero yet and know what he does fully. And because of that extra 20% damage, I think is what you said, maybe he just simply wasn't realizing that.
Yeah. I think that could play the biggest role. In fact, I believe I saw Minut saying that that he didn't have too much experience with the hero himself. It was like one of the very first times he's going to play it. So, hey, that's the thing, though, with this event. It is more of a fun style event in the end, but you got to be prepared for that. He is a hero that you should start expecting to see him on the competitive scene. So, honestly, you should start learning into him, with that said. But here we are. It looks like, so tdM, they're down to just Insania and Limp now as their final 2 players. So I'm very excited to see who's going to be. What is our next hero?
Martyr.
Oh boy! Now this is the matchup. Now, see, initially I'm like, really, but when you're right. I mean, the immolate, his Q ability, that could be a lot of fun because it is a trade-off. Do you let them do it first on you, taking more damage, and as a result, your will do more damage in return, or do you go first, trying to get that initial damage off? I mean, it is a trade-off, so that should be fun.
It is, and I'm also interested to see if they do level up that W. It does prevent more magic damage coming from you after you've already been dealt damage. Now, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, well, do they really have time to cast that spell twice in one go? So I think we're probably going to see more of the stats plus the Q spell.
It is going to be Insania.
Okay.
So the support player for tdM, this Martyr's obviously a support style of hero in general, so we'll see. He's got a tough matchup, though, against Riser, who's clearly showing that he can be pretty powerful himself. So here we are, 3-1 series lead so far in favor of TT Esports. Will Insania stop that streak for Riser currently, or will Riser keep it going? Game number 5? No, 4. Game 5, Game 5 is now ahead of us. Let's take a look.
Will Riser rise to the potential, or will Insania take this game and maybe put tdM in a little bit of a better spot? We'll have to wait and see.
Oh man, that was good. I was waiting for the connection with Insania there, but
I can't find one.
Yeah, I was like,
or will Insania be insane with his micro to the max to where he can actually outplay Riser, who's been rising to the occasion?
There you go.
I'm done.
That was perfect, man. You hyped this. You hyped this up. All right. So, of course, the starting build, always interesting. As you can see, it is Insania on the Legion side, and, of course, Riser on the Hellborn side. Riser going the 3 minor totems, the Pretender's Crown, and the Regen. Insania, on the other hand, going completely different. He actually picks up a couple of Mark of the Novice, a minor totem, and even a mana potion on top of 2 health potions. So, definitely different styles here.
Yeah, very different. Insania is going for more, I think, of just he wants to harass a lot. He wants to harass a lot, and he's going to have 2 health potions to regen very, very quickly after that kind of initial skirmish. And I like that idea, but I do honestly think that Riser has a better idea with a hero, and that's simply being tanky. And when you actually see Martyr in play, we don't see Martyr that often, but when you see him played actually, and he is played as a support, don't get me wrong, but he is built a little more tanky. And that's, of course, that is part of his W spell, but you want him to soak up a lot of damage so that your Q spell does do more damage. And while at the same time, you still have that tanky nature to where you can actually still live.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see the build, because I can also honestly see, I'm curious, could you see either one of these players going stats over either the W or the E?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. They definitely won't go for the E. 100% won't go for E. They maybe go for W, because it does give you that passively reduces the damage you take from it's 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.4, 5 times percent of the health that they're missing. But that's only like applicable if you're taking like multiple nukes, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But you know, if your damage is low and then you take a nuke, I could see you leveling up that W, but chances are probably level up stats. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, so Insania, he's dragging some creeps actually all the way to the tower. They're going to miss at least one, if not both creep kills. Nobody gets the second one, actually, so that's the good news. He's 2-1 compared to a 2-0 Riser. Actually, Insania, solid advantage so far. Good start for him. He does hit level 2 first on top of that, and you do see the Q, the Retribution. I called it Immolate for some reason. I always thought it was Immolate. But anyways, Retribution leveled up, and I'm guessing stats. I believe it was stats, if I'm not mistaken. So,
you know, now it was stats.
Oh, my God. Okay. That was close.
Riser, actually, I feel like if he got that Q up, he could have killed him.
Yeah.
And see, this is the kind of scary thing. It's like, do you wait for him to Q you again? Or do you go in and Q him, but if you don't kill him, then you're going to take even more
damage. There's also the
damage.
question you see right there. He uses a health potion, but it's like, I use a health potion, so now my Retribution is going to do less damage.
Right.
It really is a trade-off. It's a fascinating hero. Now, W, the Guardian Angel, was picked up by Riser here. We see aggression coming out from Insania, though. Is going to be fine. It looks like he is, but again, decent amount of damage. We'll have to regen.
Yeah, I think the best way to play this is maybe to get low, spam, and maybe start regenning. That's why I think maybe trees are a better choice. Riser getting kind of low there, but of course, Insania is not that low, so his damage is not going to be that high. And there's a health potion, so we're going to see a little bit more passive play. But I was just going to say I like the leveling up of the W way, way more now that I think about it in this matchup. Of course, you're trying to harass, you get low, then he nukes you and does not very much damage. Whereas opposed to Insania doesn't have any way to mitigate all that magic damage, but Riser does.
You also look at the life pool currently of these two, and it is in favor of Riser by a good amount here for early on because of the build he went for, whereas Insania went for a much more mana use build, but he's not using any mana. I mean, So that's very interesting because Retribution is actually fairly cheap. It's only 90 mana cost in general. So to not only go 2 Mark of the Novice, but even pick up a mana potion on top of that, he's not using any. So that's maybe proving to be a wrong decision by him. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, I think you're right. I think the better way to even play this is just get lots of strength because you don't really need that much mana. And that might be a viable, way to play him. But here we go.
Oh, Martyr or Insania going in. But there's the Retribution. He's going to use the health potion at the last second. Riser going uphill, though. Will it be enough? He's going to cancel the health potion, so at least gets that off. Won't be a kill, but Riser, no doubt, huge advantage now because Insania has absolutely no regen on him. He's going to have to play very, very passive or go for a one-hit wonder kill, but he just doesn't have nearly enough damage right now, so Insania, but here we go, the dive. No, Riser's just not close enough. Insania's really trying to bait him here, but Riser is going to eventually fall back himself.
It's kind of scary because it's almost like, okay, yeah, if Riser does dive and he takes damage from the tower, he's actually going to do more damage, but, if he doesn't get that for sure kill on Insania, Insania can actually turn it. That's why this matchup is kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah. It is. This is a lot of fun. And again, Insania going the stats build, level 3 Retribution not going right there. But look at the minimal damage coming out because of how much life she has. And, well, Riser also going the W build.
And has vestments.
He does have Mystic Vest. Oh, that's a great point to bring up, actually. In fact, here we go. This could be a kill coming out. Will Riser get the nuke? Yes, he will. Is it going to be enough? One more auto attack. They're both slowed. There's the auto attack. It cancels the health potion. So, again, not a kill, but it does a job right there. And Insania will be forced to play passive, but Riser doesn't have any regen on himself now either. Oh, he goes for the kill, and Insania falls. And there you go. TT Esports will be up 4-1 now in favor. 1 game away. Riser, he's proven to be the X factor here for TT Esports.
Yeah, it seemed like Insania was just sitting there. I thought he was going to make a really good play and try to bait Riser in, and I actually thought we were going to see a double kill. Like
that would have been epic.
One nuke in the air, the other nuke in the air. Who's going to hit first? I literally could have seen that happen. But no, Riser just had, I think, the uphill advantage and was able to get that nuke off just a little bit faster. But here we go with the replay. As you can see them kind of both very low HP. Here's where I thought Insania was trying to bait him in, but nope. Just get one massive nuke coming out for Riser.
Oh, man.
Gets that last.
You're so right, though. That could have been a double. That could have been a kill for kill, and would have came down to whichever the text said who got the kill first. That would have been fun. But, man, Riser, he's, what is that? That's not 3 games in a row for himself. Of course, Slick's won the first one. But he's looking to wrap it up here. Will he get his 4th individual win, and as a result, the series victory? It is going to be Limp, the remaining star here for Trademark Esports.
Yep.
On what hero?
Midas.
Midas. Interesting. Yep. This should be a fun match. Midas, a hero we haven't seen in a long time. We talked about that in the balance discussion, in fact.
Yeah.
Well, what do you make of a Midas matchup, Drove?
That's the Midas touch. I think Midas is kind of fun. You know, you can see a lot of manning up, you can see a lot of manning down, but something tells me with these two players, and that when it's for for fun, really, I think we're going to see a lot more manning up than not. And a lot of people think that, oh well, it's just not it's going to be boring until he hits level 6 and get that done. I don't think so. I think you can actually see a lot of harassment coming out from Midas early on, and you can man up with that E-spell because it does damage as well as giving you an escape mechanism.
Yeah, go ahead and sit down, and we'll be good to go. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and let them know that we are good. So again, Limp versus Riser. Limp is the last standing hope here for Trademark Esports, and what is $1,000 on the line? Winner takes all here for the show match for today. Hopefully you've been entertained so far. We've been having a lot of fun. We started things off with Dog Kaiser, of course, doing about an hour balanced discussion, and then here we are in the 1-versus-1 show match, having fun here in our new Han Tour studios and with the production and everything. So game number 6 now going to be coming up. 4-1 series lead so far. Will this be it, or will Trademark Esports start a comeback, specifically Limp? Let's take a look. Game number 6 coming at you. There you go.
Jumping into the game, let's see what kind of items they go. Already a little bit of difference here. Riser getting early tanky items, of course. Some people forget when you look at even just the model and just the way that Midas is played, he has lots of spamming abilities, magical abilities, but he's a strength hero. So building things like those Crushing Claws early on gives him that extra damage, as well as makes him a little bit more tanky. Similar build, but not quite. Limp does decide to get more of the stats in general, so he's going to have a little bit more spam ability, as he does opt to get that Pretender's Crown over that second Crushing Claw. And again, we see another case of, it seems like the European thing I want to say is they don't like those health potions. Because I see no health potion on Limp, but I really do think that health potions own. And I can't say that's true, of course, and Sadie bought 2 last game, but it seemed to kind of almost, like you said, work against him, because he was at full HP a number of times, and that, significantly reduced the amount of damage he did from his nuke.
Yeah, that definitely did. And of course, also the mana, just scoring the 2 mark of the novices and the mana potion, it did seem like he wasn't even using nearly enough mana for that to have an impact. But here we are in this matchup, Midas versus Midas, Riser versus Limp. I'm happy they're choosing different alt avatars, by the way, mainly because in this matchup where there's could be a lot of spam coming out, it's in this case, Risers will be all like the white style as a result of his skin, and then we're going to see the gold, of course, coming out from Limp. So that's the good news being a spectator. The reason we do have those alts coming out here. But, of course, the creeps are going to spawn, and yet again, Riser going to go out to blocking, as is Limp, of course. Riser starting a little bit earlier, but Limp eventually picking it up himself. So can't wait to see them meet. So far, Limp does go as Golden Salvo, so he already leveled that up. It looks like Riser going to wait just a little bit before he ultimately decides what to go.
Yeah, and I got to say, every single kind of skill build Riser has done, I've really agreed with. I actually think that I've seen Riser play Midas before, and he does max his Golden Salvo. So he goes 3 into that, 1 in Lion's Pride, 1 into Elemental Warp, of course at level 5. And then level 6, it's kind of obvious where you go from there. And I just think it's a little bit better. I think the damage you get, of course, now it's not about healing anybody. Obviously, if you do level up that Lion's Pride, you get that heal, but obviously you have no allies in a 1v1 situation to heal, so it's one thing to think about.
Yeah, that's very true. Something tells me QE might be pretty popular, but whether or not we'll see a kill before the level 6 mark, that's something you're all talking about. So, well, it seems like that transmute is going to be the big factor in this matchup. But you see right there, Golden Salvo missed by Riser, but hit by Limp. And Riser does take a little bit of early damage as a result of that. But both, you also, a great point you brought up was the fact that these are two strength heroes here. You have to keep that in mind despite being ranged. But look at that, Riser dropping about half life already. Is going to have to go back and eat a tree. So it seems like Limp, a lot of early aggression, and he's also leading in creep farm. So good start for Limp here. Again, the last hope for Trademark Esports here in this best of 9.
I got to say, and you can actually pull a lot of things from these 1v1 matchups to improve your own gameplay. And this is for fun, but if you saw right there, Limp, he did a great thing. He knew that when those creeps hit the tower, he knew the timing of the tower and how much damage it'd do perfectly. And actually doing a lot of damage right there. He actually doesn't have his third skill leveled up right now as he just hit level 3. He actually does have level 2 in a Golden Salvo, but he knew he wasn't going to get the creeps 100%. So why try to go for them when you know? Instead, he opted to do more damage and get a couple auto attacks into Riser, and that was the right play by him.
I believe, now again, I'm not sure. Did he go stats or not? But I wouldn't be surprised if he's saving a point right now for if he finds a kill opportunity to then level up the W and go for the kill, or if he levels up the E if he needs to escape,
right,
and then uses it for that purpose. So, you know, in a sense, that's kind of smart by Limp as well. As you kind of talked about, you can definitely learn a lot from these cases. Limp is currently out of mana, though, as a result of spamming his abilities. So I wonder, too, if he's going to be going for a bottle here, as Riser is still has a good amount of mana left, as he's currently eating some trees for some regen. But 540 gold on Limp currently, so bottle at 600. We'll see if he picks that up. But he has level 2, still level 2 salvo. Thought I might have been level 3 even, but that wouldn't make sense. So both heroes are still level 3, though. In fact, you see Riser right there going aggressive, but again, missing the golden salvo. So yeah, going to be more than fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, just not able to connect with those, it seems, right now. But yeah, I really don't see any point. He does actually finally level up that elemental warp. Maybe he went into stats and just felt like he didn't need to harass at all right then, and he just wants to use the damage. Maybe he wants to get these kills done before he hits level 6 and feels there's no reason at all to level up the Lion's Pride, and that's actually a strategic move. But of course, if you do get to the level 6, Rice is going to have a better time. He could also get just 1 point into Lion's Pride at level 5 and not max out his Q to level 3. At level 5. And we'll have to wait and see. That's probably what he's going to do. Well, he does deliver himself a potion and a boots as well.
Yeah, so he's got the speed advantage now, of course. 350 compared to 300 for Riser. Riser, nice job with the golden salvo, canceling a little bit of that mana potion, maybe about half of the time remaining on it. But Limp did get a decent amount of mana regen with that said. But again, he's only sitting at half mana. Doesn't even have enough for a combo. It's 140, 100, so he needs 240. He has barely enough right now. So maybe we'll see. Wait for that level 6 mark. He does currently have this slight level advantage, as you can tell. In fact, he's going to go aggressive right here. Any golden salvo? Yes, it will. It will connect, but Riser just too far for any follow-up. And again, especially without the transmute, we wouldn't dare elemental warp in right there for the combo. So Riser using the health potion, going to be fine. Golden salvo, but again missing. It seems like Riser is not hitting these golden salvos here.
Well, that one he went for the CS on top of the harass, and he got both of those creep kills right away from the spam. He was trying to go maybe too much of a greedy play, it seemed, to try to get that damage off onto Limp as well. But I think in 1v1 matchups, yeah, again, CS is great and all. You can get those items to maybe win, but harass, especially early on, is just much more important in my opinion. So yeah, it needs to hit those golden salvos, and it seems like Limp has been doing a much better job at that.
Yeah, we do see some more what's being delivered. It looks like the helper, and you got a Bracer is going to be finished here on Limp, as well as a mana potion. And then for Riser, it's a mana potion, boots, and a minor totem, I guess. So he's on his way to finishing what I would think would be a power supply with that said, maybe with that second minor totem. But anyways, so both players delivering that mana potion, going to start getting some regen. There we go, though. Limp hitting level 6, so he's got a good combo ready to go, but he doesn't have enough mana again, so he needs to be careful about that. He wants to be able to get the mana up before he can guarantee himself a combo, but Riser, I'm sure he's very aware of that and not really too worried, as he is going to be level 6 as well. So you did talk about Riser may start having the advantage as a result of the build he went for early on once the level 6s do take place, so we'll see.
Well, I'm trying to think about it a little bit more now, and the fact that just Limp doesn't have to cast another spell to activate that, he can just use it through Q and E, and there's another actually golden salvo there, unfortunately missed by Riser. But I think actually Limp, I really do like his strategy of just, I think he actually did go 1 into stats right there, and it's simply just he doesn't want to use extra mana on a spell that's only going to do, you know, what, 75 damage when he can just still get the combo off with just those 2 spells. So.
Yeah. We do see Riser almost looked like he was going for bottom rune, but again, no runes do spawn in this mode, so That would be kind of silly, a waste of time after all, but both players level 6. There we go. Riser actually purchasing a Mystic Vestment, so that is going to be delivered, and of course that will negate a lot of damage coming out in a Midas versus Midas matchup. Of course, all that golden, or all the magic damage coming out as we see the golden salvo attempt, but Riser able to fairly easily dodge it, especially with that pickup, and it looks like, again, with the way that as more and more items are being built up here, it seems like this could actually start taking a little bit now, being more of a passive stun. I don't know if we're going to have a kill right at this will probably be one of the longer games is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it looks like it's shaping up to be that. If it wasn't aggressive early on, and we didn't see very early on aggressive, this could get a lot more passive, especially when you see an item like Mystic Vestments purchased up on Riser. You're gonna have to wait until you really find a good opening if you're Limp. And we'll have to wait and see. Limp is going to go for, it looks like, he has that belt right there. Sorry, the bolstering armbands. So probably going to go for those steam boots early on. Oh,
there we go. Golden Salvo's coming out. And, well, look at Limp actually diving on a Riser right here. He wants to make something happen. Riser does have his teleport, though. So for the first time, we actually see the teleport being used right there. And Limp will fall back and continue to farm. Now, again, with this being a little bit more of a longer game, we're getting close to the halfway point. That would, of course, be 7.5 minutes here, if I'm doing my math correctly. Yeah, 7.5 minutes. Of course, 15 minutes, and the game will end, and it will be creep kills and creep denies. So far, it's 26-10 Riser, 27-15 Limp. So Limp does have a pretty solid advantage here early on. And that's something, of course, you know, Riser himself doesn't necessarily have all that information at his leisure, but he may have to feel that Limp does have the advantage on that.
Right, yeah, he probably feels something, but it's not that. Now, is it just total creep kills? Like, there's total
creep kills
CS?
and denies.
Oh, you just add them, and whoever has more just wins. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, it's not crazy. I mean, he is leading by, it looks like 7 right now. So it's not crazy, but something tells me that they'll start to get fed up here in about a minute or so, and someone will go crazy. At least that's what I hope.
Someone will go crazy. Well, we do see, I believe he has Steam Boots on the way. Limp has Steam Boots on the way. There we go. Wow. So 1119 life here, 1119 life. In fact, Riser is kind of charging in, but maybe realize with the Steam Boots, that would have been kind of silly to try to make anything happen. So, yeah, they're starting to get a lot more beefy here. And again, this goes back to whether or not this is going to come down to a creep kill game. And that's where, for the first time now, both 1v1 show matches that we've done here recently in Honcast, you got to start thinking about, well, actually, Limp getting pretty aggressive. Will he follow? Yes, he's going to teleport himself. Can he combo right here? He does have the Lion's Pride, as well as going to have a good side by Riser. He kept moving the whole time, and Limp was just never able to get the angle off. That could have been a kill, though, if that connected. So, good job, Riser.
It's hard to connect, you know, when you're trying to... When your spells have to hit both, or hit them twice, and at the same time they have an escape mechanism, it's very hard to connect. We're going to see both heroes actually walk back to base to regen. And Limp is off to a very good start right now. We've got about 6 minutes left, if not even that, until it does go to the creep score. So we'll have to wait and see. Riser is going to have to be the one that does something here.
Yeah. Like I was going to say, it's that's where you got to start thinking, especially in this case if you're Riser. I'm behind a creep farm. I'm not getting tower kills. I need to make a hero kill happen. I mean, it gets to a point where you got to start thinking about taking risks. I mean, it's just simple as that. If you don't make a kill happen pre 50 minutes, you're pretty much going to lose. Because again, you look at the creep farm, it's starting to go more and more in favor of Limp as time passes on. And so, like I said, Riser doesn't necessarily have that information available to him, but you got to think that he at least feels it. Something is up. It just seems like Limp has had the better time.
And this isn't like a real game where if you're struggling in a minute, it's like, well, let me just go stack this small camp and then farm that. Nope, can't do that. Yeah. So you've got to make something happen right here in the right here in the middle lane. Oh,
there we go. The combo coming out from Riser, actually. But again, you look at that, and Limp just kind of stood there. Well, he had to stand there, of course, being transmuted, but it just didn't matter. I mean, he just easily tanked the damage, and he's more than fine. Both heroes do have a Mystic Vestment now. So we are now over 10 minutes here. Again, that 15-minute mark, the very, very important time frame. So Riser going to have to start thinking about making that kill opportunity happen. You see he currently has 600 gold saved up. Do wonder what he's looking to eventually purchase. Because, again, you look at Limp and at what he went for. There we see another golden salvo coming out with the Lion's Pride. But I believe one of them missed, and so no transmute happened as a result. And, well, Limp just going to deliver himself even more regen. So... yeah, it's time's getting low here for Riser. Only down to about 4 minutes now in total remaining before this should go in favor of Limp at this rate. So he is currently not looking too good on mana. Yeah, Limp isn't a pretty now. If you're Limp here, see this is where it comes down to. You see him playing very aggressive, but that's where you got to think if you're Limp. You got to feel comfortable with the lead that you have. So don't do anything too crazy. I mean, he's going to dive in right here, and he doesn't even necessarily need to go for a kill. He might. No, Riser going to dodge away, and he'll be fine for now. So.
Yeah, he can just play this passively to the end. He should know by this point that he is out farming Riser, and you're right. He doesn't have to do anything crazy, but I think both of these players do want to try to find an opening. It's just hard at this stage of the game because they are both pretty tanky. And when you both are tanky and have an escape mechanism, it can be a little bit difficult. But
yeah, so that's what it comes down to. And again, for Riser, when will that time come up? He has just over 3 minutes now. You got to go balls to the wall. Even if it means your death, you're going to lose anyway. So you really just got to hope for the best, go for something here in the very near future, you would think. So maybe he's going to wait till about 14 minutes, till the very last second to try to make something happen. But then we'll see how Limp reacts to that. But Riser didn't even he delivered himself a mana potion. That was it. So he's still sitting on 850 gold. Again, I don't know. Oh, he tries to golden salve right there. Completely misses, though. And Limp actually takes it to 9 on the creep right there at the last second. So, yeah, with a combo, it is not going to hit. Just the golden salve, I believe. So, Riser again going to be fine, but he's out of mana, man. I mean, he can't combo right now. It's seeming like at this rate it is going to be a victory for Limp, but
it looks that way. But like you said, I mean, maybe we'll see Riser go back to heal, get all of his mana, and then try to do something crazy.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to have to do at this point.
Well, he did just purchase Steam Boots, I think.
Yeah, he did purchase Steam Boots. Maybe he's going to farm it up for a TP, go back to base, and try something out. But, yeah, he's got about 2 minutes of time to really do something.
As lame as a strategy this would be, I kind of even feel like Limp could honestly just go back to his base right now and still win this game.
Well, he's at no threat right now.
Yeah.
Just CSing in this lane. He can just spam out every wave. And that's probably what he can sit here in mid and just CS freely. And he'll be fine. Just has to build tanky, and that's what he's done.
Well, so again, Riser, you see the Steam Boots. He said maybe just get enough gold saved up to buy a Homecoming Stone and then try to make that happen. But you got to think it's just the chances of that actually happening is very, very slim. So we're now at 13.5 minutes. So 1.5 minutes remaining before this game is officially over and in favor of Limp at this point. I mean, he's getting to it. He is really just dominating now as far as farm over Riser. In fact, the GPM kind of explains it too, 274 to 204. And actually the damage chart, this is actually kind of interesting in 1 versus 1. It is in favor of Limp by quite a bit too. So Limp's been the aggressor. He has the creep advantage. I mean, it just seems like it's been going so well for him. Riser, putting in some auto attacks here. But I don't think he even has enough for a combo. He just barely has enough, if that. So 1 minute left. I don't even know if Riser knows it.
I know.
I honestly, at this point, I don't think he feels that. He's just going to let it run out and hope for the best, but it's clearly going to be a victory for Limp at this point.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Limp does something crazy and maybe dives the tower, but something tells me he won't because he wants to keep this team in this. Obviously, if Riser does win this, TT Esports would take this entire series today and be the new champions of this 1v1 show match, but looks like Limp is going to stop that right now in this match. 30 seconds to go. It looks like there's one final stand for Riser. I think he does have one more nuke. He's got 30 seconds to go. Is he going to do something? He gets actually the Q spell to hit, but he doesn't. His window's opportunity is kind of missing out right there. Yeah, it's looking like a for sure victory now for Limp. We'll probably see him run in and suicide.
Yeah, we could have even seen a combo right there himself. In fact, here we go. There's some damage coming up from Riser, actually, but as you see, just not nearly enough damage. Are we going to see the Elemental Warp maybe coming out? Limp going very aggressive. Not even necessary here. Oh, my God. Okay. Limp. Right. That would have been something, but there you go. GG's.
That was actually really close.
That would have been interesting. So, Limp will be victorious here. And we are going to this is going to be, we're looking at a 4-2 advantage now for TT Esports. So this will be game number 7 is going to be coming up here between these two teams. So, yeah, that was our first time we've ever gone 15 minutes here in the 1v1 show match. But, it's Limp. Limp seemed like he had the control throughout the whole game.
Yeah, you live and you learn. Maybe Midas wasn't the best for a 1v1. We saw a little bit of aggression actually in the mid, in the early game. But, it just comes to that point where with heroes with escape mechanisms, it just becomes really difficult. And, it's not even just escape mechanism. It's escape mechanism plus having to have those skill shots line up. So you live and learn. But Nonetheless, we have a much more interesting lineup for you guys this next time. It's actually going to be Gauntlet. And we saw Gauntlet last time, of course, where Zai actually shined versus Moon Meander, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
So we are going to see a Gauntlet versus Gauntlet here in the 7th round of tdM versus TTE Sports.
Now, who will TTE Sports choose? So they're down Slicks and Riser. So they have Waitalaba, Moravis, and Leon Black as their remaining players, of course. So interested to see who of those three they do choose. Who do you think? I mean, Moravis seems like this could be a comfortable hero for him, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think Moravis is a very solid mid player, and they have a lot of players to go. I mean, all the players. I really do favor, actually, in this kind of setting, TTE Sports. I think their players are very strong individually in a 1v1 setting. So I expect Moravis.
All right, so we'll see. Again, they're going to be setting up the game here shortly, and then we will be going into what is going to be game number 7. It is right now a 4-2 advantage in favor of TTE Sports, trying to claim their $1,000 prize pool. Winner takes all. But Trademark Esports, of course, fighting it off. So Limp is sitting down. Let's see who it is for TTE Sports. It's going to be Riser again, apparently. Trying to break the rules here. He's like, I want a second chance.
It's going to be Leon Black.
Or as we like to call him, Lion Black here on a Honcast. No, Leon Black is going to be representing TTE Sports in what is match number 7. So he will be playing Gauntlet against Limp, playing his own Gauntlet here. So taking a seat and getting ready to make this happen.
Can Limp make this work for TDM? Can he keep his team in this little series we got going on? Of course, TTE Sports is just one game away from winning that $1,000, and of course the big pride factor. I think that's the biggest thing.
Of course, the fact that you can gloat about it, and you know, I really mean this. I mean, for Zai especially, you can even tell he became again, he was already known before that, but it really did jump up his popularity after that 5-0 sweep he had himself over Complexity.
Yeah.
It goes to show you the power of an event like this. So this is a chance for these players to definitely shine. It looks like, yeah, so we are ready. We're letting them know that. And now they're going to start the countdown and go into the loading screen here. So a quick recap. Slicks did play first against, who was it for Trademark? It was against Noob G. Slicks won that matchup. Then it was... oh my God! I don't know why I'm doing this when I don't actually know what I'm talking about.
It was then Riser stepped in, of course.
Riser stepped in, and Riser defeated.
I'm sorry, no, Zai.
Zai, that's who it was. Yeah, Zai then beat Slicks, then Riser beat Zai, and then Riser beat Insania, and then eventually My Nuts. Oh no, it's My Nuts. Anyways, we're down to our final matchup. So with that said, let's take a look. Game number 7: Gauntlet versus Gauntlet.
This is a matchup, of course, you guys saw last time, and it's very interesting. We did see very similar builds. The shield, the hatchet was not picked up. It was just a shield on both sides. We see a shield actually was picked up and then sold by Limp, so he's kind of second-guessing himself. He does have 250 gold to spend. Is he going to buy it? We'll have to wait and see. It looks like both players are actually wondering what they want to buy. And I keep seeing pink, Leon Black buy and sell. He does go for the hatchet this time. So he wants to have the extra CS. Nope, he sold it. Just goes for the shield. So they're really trying to make up their mind. They are going to go very similar items. Again, Limp he is very indecisive. He does not know what he wants to buy. Sold it again. He only has 25 seconds till he has to get to that mid lane and get those blocks out. He does finally decide to go to that shield. All right.
Only difference is a minor totem instead of a mana put. Oh, he's going back. He's like, no, wait, never mind. I want this now. Oh, no, I need to pick it up. Oh, where is it? Oh, it is a shield again.
He's trolling us, man.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Is he going to get there in time? Yeah, he's going to barely get there. So, not sure what he wanted to go for, apparently. But here we are. So, both players are now actually ready to go. Now, Leon Black, he's using... This is actually a new skin. I've actually never seen this skin before. Yeah, this is, I'm guessing, like a mummy-style skin here for Gauntlet.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. Looks kind of
mummified
funky.
Gauntlet, okay.
Mummified Gauntlet. So Leon Black representing the Mummified Gauntlet. And, of course, we have Limp playing El Gauntlete, as I like to call him. So, Spanish pride there. So we see him going to be, again, applying some aggression. Both do choose to go in Feeble first. And both are going to play a lot of harassment off the bat.
Yeah, Leon got the better exchange right there. He got one more auto attack in because Limp did decide to go for that creep kill. But again, I really do think that being a little bit more aggressive is the key to victory here. Creep kills, obviously you can't get that gold and get items like boots, items like vestments, or what have you. But getting that harass makes them use the regen faster and puts you in a better position.
Yeah. So we do see a level 2 hit on Leon Black right there. He, of course, goes the Infernal Instability, or as I like to call it, Power Gloves. So much easier and so simple. But yeah, the Enfeeble definitely doing work here for both these players. But the interesting thing, again, the difference here early on is that Mana Potion by Leon Black compared to not the Mana Potion from Limp. You see both players using that Power Glove, though, and getting a good amount of damage on one another. In fact, Leon Black already using a health potion, so not even going to use the trees initially, just going to go straight health potion, and he got it canceled there. Ouch. So not even a full health potion going off.
Yeah, that's big. You need every bit of that regen you can get, and unfortunately missed a couple of creep kills right there, but still is relatively even at 6-1 to 6-0. Actually misses another one right there, but that being said, Limp has this entire wave to farm, so he's in a little bit better of a spot than Leon Black at this moment.
Yeah. So we'll see. He's going to go back in and block the next spawn of creeps right there. So, of course, after this for TteS Esports, if Limp somehow manages to hold it off, his team is currently down 4-2. Then we have Moravius and Whitalabar are the 2 remaining players for TteS Esports after this. But Leon Black going to try to finish it right here and not going to even worry about that. If he wins, then it will be officially done. Limp, of course, the last standing hero here for Trademark Esports. Doing well against Riser last game. Riser was on a 3-game winning streak, I believe, going into that, but stopped him in his tracks right there. So Limp, they're going aggressive. There we go. The Power Glove off on Leon Black, and against some harassment. Not nearly any kills, though, coming out. Just a lot of early harassment from both of these players. Are we going to see Grapple picked up now is the big question at level 4.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely think so? Yeah, there we go.
Yep, and actually we saw, if you remember, I believe Zai, when he was playing Moon, went for a 1-1-1 build and actually got Grapple at level, well, maybe even level 2, and just got the glove at level 3. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Leon Black, let's check out some early CS right now. He's 8-1 to 11-1 for Limp. Of course, that's not the biggest deal right now. Of course, I think the biggest deal in this matchup is, you know, obviously getting at level 6. You're going to have that extra burst damage, so whoever is able to get that, I think, is going to have a better start. Early boots now picked up on both sides, so Gauntlet, or I've done this before. Yeah. Gauntlet's got his
Gauntlet.
boots.
It's just so used to it. Oh, Power Glove activated right there. He's going for a hit, but just instead uses it on the creep for the creep wheel. But yeah, you're right. That level 6 is so important on Gauntlet especially. I mean, it seems like it could just be a guaranteed kill. I mean, if they get a range, if you just combo that on top of a grapple, on top of your Power Glove, it could definitely be a kill. So that level 6 is important, and right now it does look like Limp a very slight advantage at level 5 just before you see another Power Glove being used. But it also comes to the point you need to make sure that you have that mana pool ready to go. If you do hit level 6 and want to maybe make it a surprise factor, so something to keep in mind here. But this is definitely a matchup I find it very hard to believe that can go all too long.
Yeah, it's just ultimately, you know, how they're going to play this. How are they going to play it more passive, and who has to right now? Actually, Leon Black taking a lot of damage right now. He has no more regen. Maybe he has some ferried on the courier. He does have a health potion as well as a mana battery. So he will have full HP by the time he hits maybe level 6. But if Limp is able to maybe net a kill before he gets this regen, that's going to be close because this courier is just about there. So yeah, he's going to use a health potion right away. Can Limp actually get... Oh, I thought he could have maybe even canceled that with a hook, but deciding not to go for that.
Well, you got to think that level 6 is coming shortly here. Again, he's been level 5 for a little bit now. A couple creep waves have been cleared out. You see him buying a Mystic Vestments, actually. Of course, not on him just yet, but it will be delivered for Limp, so that'll definitely help if he eventually gets that before he gets comboed himself. But again, just waiting for that level 6 to appear. There goes with the Power Glove here. He hits level 6. He's going to go for it. No, he's not. He just used the Power Glove. Chooses to sit back and not go for a kill opportunity right there. Leon Black now, he should be hitting level 6 himself shortly, I feel. Maybe after this catapult goes down. There we go. And a level 6 Leon Black. So both are going to be level 6. But again, you got to think both are going to be so almost to the point of like, who's going to jump first? Who's going to jump first? Yeah. You do see Leon Black. He is down a little bit of life right now. So that's, oh, we see right there. Limp goes for the hook. But Leon Black able to dodge it early.
Well, I think he just like, he realized that he wasn't going to go for the CS, and Limp thought he was, and tried to get the hook onto that right about where the creep kills were, and just wasn't able to do that. So good job by Leon Black. And actually, if you see Limp, I almost said Gauntlet again, but Limp actually has his regen sitting behind these trees right here, but wants the extra 1 point of stat that each of these minor totems gives him. So every little bit counts, as he says. And there's a good Power Glove, actually, as it hits both the creep and Limp. But, of course, he does have Mystic Vestments, and it mitigates a lot of damage early on. Are we going to see Leon Black go for a similar build? He actually upgrades his power or his mana battery.
And the Mystic Vestments on the courier, too. So.
Oh, he has the Mystic Vestments as well?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's good for him. Really good for him.
Yeah, that's going to be coming. So as long as he gets it. Look at that regen on the ground, though. Yeah, Limp is, as you said, it's important, man. Every point counts. He has a mana potion, a health potion, and a Runes of the Black. They're all spread out. I like that, too. Oh, we see right here a lot of aggression coming out. Leon Black and Limp going back and forth. Leon Black, though, he actually levels up first. So Limp, it seems like he's had the level advantage for most of this. But now Leon Black, a slight advantage for himself. He does get the boost or the power supply delivered, as well as the Mystic Vestments. But Gauntlet, Limp is going to go back over here. He's going to start using that regen. It's funny, but hey, it works. Man, if he lands a hook here, seems like something can happen. Oh, yeah. I don't know. It seems like
you can just burst him down.
Yeah, I mean, oh, there we go. The hook and pull them in tower range. This is going to be enough. There's the ultimate. There's the power. The tower's assisting. The power supply. Leon Black may barely survive. Can he get away with the power glove in 2 seconds? Holy crap. Leon Black stays alive, and as a result, TteS Esports still has a chance to finish off the series.
Oh my god, that was so close. Leon Black's got some fighting words, I'm sure, but yeah, he's going to go all the way back to the well, regen completely, and he did use his ultimate there as well, so he's not going to be able to go back and maybe turn it onto Limp, who has already used his ultimate as the initiation tool, but that's going to give a big advantage to Limp. You know, he did get away, but Limp is going to soak up all this farm, soak up all this experience, while Leon Black is not, so it's going to be even harder for him to win this matchup, but of course, he did live, and it's going to give him another shot.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to at the end. This game could be over right now, but at least he's still alive and at least has a chance. That power supply, though, no doubt the biggest difference there in that exchange. If it wasn't for the charges that were on it and the use of it right there, this game would be over right now in favor of tdM. We would be going to a game number 8, but Leon Black staying alive for TteS Esports, trying to, again, finish off the series for them and take home that $1,000 winner-takes-all prize pool.
Yep.
But it is going to be tough now because in that sense, as you said it, he is now falling a little bit behind since he did have to run all the way back to base and Limp just, regened and continue to gather up. So both ultimates are back up in that Gauntlet Blast ability. So definitely expect an opportunity to arise again. But here we are 8 minutes in. Now, I hate to say it for this matchup. Again, I find it very hard to believe. But if it so happens to come down to that 15-minute mark, right now it is a pretty solid lead in favor of Limp once again.
Yeah, well, I actually think it's not as bad as it was last game.
True.
Well, the hook coming out, that was kind of an interesting direction. But, yeah, Leon Black's actually not doing that badly as far as the CS department. He's trailing 3 in creep kills and then trailing 5 in denies. So I guess Limp is actually handling him a little bit. But it's not as crazy as it was last time. Now that the completed Steam Boots is up on Limp, he has nearly 1,200 HP.
With Mystic Vestments.
With Mystic Vestments. Now, of course, he doesn't have a power supply. But still, he's very, very tanky.
Yeah, so you see right here, he's actually, by the way, what changed? Did he go from, I think he starts 5.75 starting armor now. So he did go up 0.25, I believe, in his, remember that magic armor that we're talking about. So I was just curious about that. But anyways, I think Mystic Vestments definitely very, very tanky indeed. We do see he's going to go in right here with the Power Glove, but no follow-up. So maybe at this rate, they're going to try to go for a level 11 at this point. Oh, the hook was just out of range right there. That would have been interesting if he landed that, but definitely just out of range. And Leon Black actually always getting creep blocked here, actually. He has to use the Power Glove to push him away. Limp's going to go for a kill. He has an ultimate ready. There's the ultimate. One more attack. Not going to be in time, and Leon Black will barely survive yet again. The power supply, no doubt, doing work for him.
He actually took some tower damage. That would have been crazy. But
wow.
He's going to try to buy some more regen. And, yeah, these engagements are getting way too close. But he's still living. And in the meantime, though, that's going to free up the lane a little bit for Limp. So if this does go to 15, which it very well might. I mean, we're at the 10 minutes already. Limp has taken a sizable lead as far as the creep score goes.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I mean, again, we've had couple of very close kills now, but we have a Gauntlet versus Gauntlet matchup that, at this rate, may not be too surprising to see go all the way. But, like I was saying, though, if Limp does happen to hit level 11 before the 15 minutes are up, then that could be the kill opportunity. But at that point as well, you got to figure he has a comfortable creep score lead. Again, the players don't necessarily have that information that we do in front of them, so if you're Leon Black, you probably assume that, seeing as you did have to fall back twice now. But, oh, there we go with the hook, actually. The power glove on top of the inside of the tower range as well, but it switches at the last second. And Leon Black will be more than fine. No doubt the armor, or the Mystic Vestments, excuse me, doing a lot right there. But still, and the power supply, but yeah, Limp just keeping up the pressure, man.
Yeah, Limp can do that all day, because Leon Black's actually spending a lot of gold, a lot of resources into mana or health potions and regen. And in fact, the second he bought 2 health potions coming back, walking back, and there's some more regen actually. So he's got to make something happen here. He needs to regen right now and make a move, because I feel like this is his window of opportunity right now. There's very little mana.
He doesn't have an ultimate, though.
He doesn't have an ultimate, true, but there's very little mana. Maybe he can try to man up and get Limp to counter man up or something. But, you know, it's going to be hard for him. He's definitely losing the creep department.
I love this, man.
Yeah, Limp has just got an arsenal of regen here.
This guy. Hey, it's smart. You know, it's the smallest things. You go back to that earlier. It really does add up. And Limp just making the best use of all his resources. Hey, it's only +1 strength, +1 agility, +1 intelligence, but you know what? That could make the difference. So he's just taking the time, the patience to do that, and it's definitely helping him, I'm sure. Yeah, he is nearly a combined, well, right now 69, I believe, creep kills plus creep denies. That's, again, a good-sized lead at this point over Leon Black, who's sitting at 55, quick math right there. So, yeah, Limp, a solid advantage coming up to 12 minutes now. So, once again, this does seem like it could perhaps go the distance. And if you're Leon Black, you have to keep that in mind and just go, you know what, I need to go all out, take the risk, because I'm not going to win this any other way. Limp, ooh, we could have gone in right there, but chooses not to. But now this goes back to Leon Black. Maybe he's going to hope to hit level 11, and then maybe that's when he'll go for the kill. But I don't know if it's going to happen in time.
And that's hard. If by the time Leon Black hits 11, Limp is probably going to be level 12. So it's just hard. Actually, someone, shout out to whoever wrote this in chat. I thought it was really funny. He said Leon Black should use the courier to grab all of Limp's items. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But something tells you that's not going to happen. In fact, I think he's actually used up all his regen. No, he has one more room in the plate still sitting there.
And he has some more being delivered.
Oh,
he's
wow.
Gonna drop on the ground. Because that's what he does. You see right here, we're again going back. Yeah, his creep farm is no doubt he's going to win the creep farm battle at this rate. I mean, unless Leon Black somehow just snipes out every creep kill and Limp just completely fails, which very likely won't happen. Limp is on his way to a victory here. So again, Leon Black just needs to take that ultimate risk. Limp, he got so close twice to winning this earlier on in this game. It's just that Leon Black barely survived. But it did put him at this point, as you said, when that happened. So Limp can honestly just play very, very fast. You see a hook attempt right there. That was maybe the one shot that Leon Black was going for, but unfortunately not able to connect. And Limp will just go back at it here at the creep wave. So
I feel like, well, Gauntlet is one of those heroes I feel like you can actually bait someone into thinking that they can kill you and then get a very good counter kill because you can hook people back into the tower. And actually, we saw that with Moon versus Zai. If you remember, Moon had a very sizable lead early on. And not that this maybe was Zai's intention, but Zai was able to get a counter kill onto him despite actually being at a very rough spot. So if Leon Black is actually able to maybe bait spells onto Limp maybe think he can get a for sure kill, and then if Leon Black can play his cards right, maybe hook him back to the tower with an ultimate down, and the tower, you know, beating down on him, lots of damage. Oh, a good hook attempt right there, but it's not able to connect. Then maybe Leon can get a kill, but you know his window of opportunity is slowly slipping away as he has less than a minute left to make something happen. As he's trying to get those kills on those items right there. Nice. He does.
Yeah, I see a hook attempt from Limp right there, not going to connect, but I do feel like Leon Black is aware. I mean, he is playing very aggressive now. He probably feels like he needs to make something happen. We see right here, is he going to go for it? Will this be it? There's a power glove used by Leon Black. Can he even get a range? There's a hook, brings it back. Does he have an ultimate? He does, but he chooses not to use it right there. Again, I'm not saying it would have been a kill, but the game's over. I mean, that was pretty much it right there for Leon Black, and as a result of him not getting the kill, not to say he would, but 10 seconds left, and
Limp played it correctly. I mean, he's just realized there's no reason for me to go on him. I don't want to take any risks, and he actually just ulties and just is sitting right there because he knows. Oh, he gets the hook. Can we actually see the kill anyways? It's about 2 minutes, and they're just going to walk away.
That's going to do it, though.
So
it is official. 15 minutes pass, and indeed, Trademark Esports stays alive, guys. How about that? Limp is Limp this time. He's the shining star here for Trademark Esports, unlike last time, of course, being Zai against Complexity. So here we are. That's going to be game number 8 is going to be coming up. It is a 4-3 lead, still in favor of TteS Esports. But Limp is showing that he's not letting down easy.
definitely not. The next matchup we got for you guys is actually Bubbles versus Bubbles. Now, this could be very aggressive or it could be passive. I'm hoping for the former.
Yes.
He does have take cover, but a lot of times in a 1v1 matchup, Bubbles has a lot of damage, especially with that kelp field.
Yeah.
And keeping people into place. We could probably see some differences in build-up as far as the skills go as well. Are they going to go for take cover, or are they going to go for that more burst potential? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that is going to be fun. Now, I see, Chad obviously making comments about, oh, Limp, that was so boring to watch.
He played it right. And there was money on the line.
No, not only that, but he almost got kills twice. That was more so that just Leon Black barely lived and was able to barely survive. But again, he just wasn't able to come back after that. He had to go all the way back to base, get his regen, and at that point you start falling behind more and more in creep farm, as well as levels and just gold in general. And it is a snowballing effect. So Limp tried. I mean, it wasn't like he just played passive the whole time by any means. He definitely tried for some kills, but Leon Black barely stayed alive, but in the end, he was victorious, and that's what matters. Like I said, there is $1,000 on the line. So now this is interesting. We have a Bubbles versus Bubbles. Whitalaba and Moravis are your last two choices here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is good, yeah.
Who do you go with? Because you got to think, if you go Moravis, you could probably argue the better 1v1 solo mid player. But if he happens to lose, and that's going to match up Soulstealer 1v1 with Whitalaba taking on Limp, that's some decision to be made.
I think you throw Moravis in. Moravis is actually their Bubbles player in scrims and in matches we've casted them. He does play Bubbles, and he plays it very well. I got to give him that.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen Whitalaba play certain carry-ish heroes, and I feel like Soulstealer, he would do better on Soulstealer than he would on Bubbles.
Yeah.
And with a great hero or a great hero player combination with Moravis and Bubbles, I definitely think they should use Moravis right here. It is going to be Moravis.
He sits down. You can tell they were definitely thinking about it. I mean, it took a while to sit down, but in the end, Moravis sits down. So Moravis versus Limp. You said it. Moravis is their Bubbles player. It's not to say that they're all in on this by any means, because obviously you would still have in the final matchup Whitalaba would step in on the Soulstealer matchup against Limp, but it's you got to figure if you're TT Esports, this is where you're going for the win here. So Moravis, will he be able to finish things off finally for TT Esports, or will Limp keep it alive and force that 9th and final game here in the best of the 9? So a lot of fun we've had. Cannot believe we are here to this point. Man, it's been quite the series, but both teams, they've selected the hero Bubbles. Going to start counting down into the game, and Game 8 is officially upon us. So let's go ahead, jump into Game number 8.
All right, Bubbles versus a Bubbles matchup is kind of interesting. As I mentioned before, you can have a very big variance in as far as what item or what skill builds to go. Now, you can go for the leveling up the Song of the Sea and just kind of opt out of take cover right away and just try to get the burst damage there. Obviously, level 2 Song of the Sea is just infinitely better than level 1 because of the duration of that silence. It goes from 0.1, which is hardly anything, to 1, which is significantly better.
Yeah.
And we'll have to wait and see what they decide to go for, if they are even going to go for Song of the Sea right at level 2, or if they want to play a little bit more defensive and actually, take cover a couple of auto attacks in the beginning. So.
We see yet again, Limp decided not to go the health potion route. They do go the exact same build. No, excuse me, they did not actually. It was actually, how about that? Limp only going the trees here as far as regen. He does build a Mark of the Novice as well as a Pretender's Crown. Not build, but buys one. So maybe looking for an early Talisman of the Exile here. Gravelock would be kind of useless, you would think, but
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Gravelock, it's kind of a waste of gold in my opinion, at least for a 1v1. But nonetheless, Limp is... oh, man, yeah. Shout out to Honcast chat. But Limp in this right here matchup, he doesn't have the health potion, and he has a lot more base HP. Like, he has 530 with the items he went, compared to Moravis, who has only 492. Now, Moravis does have that health potion, so it has a little bit more regen. So it's kind of... You have to weigh out your options. To which do you think is more favorable?
Yeah.
I personally always like having more regen in a 1v1 matchup. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, but the thing is, you can argue, well, you can always, ferry yourself regen, but sometimes you can get caught up with the courier. Like we saw in Game 1, I feel like that played a role in the Silix versus Noob G matchup, was the courier. And if you can always ferry yourself regen, yes, but it's just not as practical.
Well, here we are. The creeps, of course, added there. Right there, you see the Archer actually getting destroyed right off the bat, so Moravis doing enough blocking for that. Both do decide to go the Shell Surf. In fact, Moravis is going to use the Shell Surf right away and not only get a creep kill with it, but even snipe out some damage onto Limp. So well placed on his part. And so I think it's, level 6, do you expect to see that kelp field?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 6 probably kelp field, and I'm curious to see just specifically what they do as far as take cover. Because if you're being aggressive onto bubbles, I hate that. If you're being the aggressor, then you don't really want take cover. You want that max burst damage. And actually, as we see already, Moravis does go for the level of a Song of the Sea. So we'll have to see if Limp responds. He has not leveled anything up just yet. He wants to maybe wait for the opportune time. But yeah.
Yeah, we see as you put it, Limp just not going. Just I highly doubt he wins stats. That would be interesting, but
Yeah.
guys, just kind of sitting on that point. We'll see if he eventually gets it. But yeah, the takeover that's definitely intriguing for me as well. We see the level 2 Shell Surf picked up. Well, Limp right there hitting that level 3 mark. So haven't seen a Shell Surf since the initial one that came out from Moravis. Is gonna have the creep bait pulled in though. May see one right here for a snipe. Nope, no, it's gonna instead not gonna do it, holding back. And a nice couple of denies there at the last second actually by Limp. And I mean, so far again, it's very early on, but Limp does have a pretty solid creep kill lead yet again here early on in the stage. So he's more gold as a result of that, and we'll see. Shellsurf gonna miss actually poured in from Moravis right there. No Song of the Sea coming out though, and Limp will be more than fine.
Did it actually hit him?
I did not.
I don't think it hit him.
I don't
so
think it
that was an unfortunate use of mana, but nonetheless, Limp has actually dropped down a little bit in this HP. He does have one more tree actually left, but he can obviously ferry himself some regen. And maybe this is the opportune time right now that Moravis actually has to get that kill.
Yeah. You see right there, now he's tanking a lot of creep damage actually, so you need to be careful about that. Oh, Limp again. I don't know if that hit. That was really did it? Okay. Yeah, that was very close, but apparently it did. So gets the damage out of that, but that looked like an opportunity for Moravis, but in the end, Limp is able to survive through it. And gonna be fine for now. Actually, oh, there's a point of that. We're gonna see go. Oh! Around at the last second. Are you kidding me? Wow. We need instant replay for that. Wow. That was amazing.
That was
I can't
crazy.
believe that just happened right there. I'm being told, unfortunately, we may not have the instant replay for that, but holy crap. Wow.
I don't even know what happened.
I don't know. I mean, it seemed like Moravis for sure had the kill. I thought that was going to be it. I thought Moravis had the kill. Limp survived, though. He didn't go take cover. That was just simply enough damage output by him. Gets the kill. Whoa. That just happened.
I'm guessing that because maybe he ported to a shell, or just the way that he uses spells, he missed an auto attack in there, but nonetheless, Limp comes out on top. So I'm sure he'd say, oh, calculated, no problem. But that was just really, really close.
Meant to do that.
We have come down to the wire, guys.
How about that?
We've come down to the wire. Of course, the last one, we did save it. If it does go to a ninth game, a final game, how much more epic can you get than Soul Stealer versus Soul Stealer once again?
Yeah.
And this time, of course, it is going to be Whitalaba.
See,
playing Soul Stealer versus Limp.
This is where it's interesting. As I said, I mean, I love this format because you have to think ahead. You have to think of not only what heroes are coming up, but what players you want to play now. Will they win, and then will they play later, or will they be able to play? There's just so much thought process that goes on, but as a result of it all, TteS Esports, again, nothing against Whitalaba by any means,
right,
but he doesn't seem like their go-to Soul Stealer player by any means. He doesn't seem like their go-to solo player. This is going to be interesting, and clearly Limp knows what he's doing. He's now on a, He's on a 4-game winning streak, right?
Yeah.
No, 3-game winning streak himself, just like Riser.
Oh, right.
Had a 3-game winning streak. So we're tied at 4 games apiece, ladies and gentlemen. And game number 9 is going to be coming up. I cannot believe that. They're switching sides real quickly. Wow. That last game, man. Bubbles versus Bubbles. You will need we do apologize for go figure replay, unfortunately not able to work for that one, but the VOD of course will be up, and you can definitely watch it on there. I know I will be. That was just something right there when it came down to it. But Soul Stealer versus Soul Stealer, the best 1v1 hero matchup in the game, I think it's safe to say. It is going to come down to this. The countdown has started, Trev.
Yep, and I'm more than ready. Of course, Limp does now have a Legion side, and in the Soul Stealer versus Soul Stealer, you got to favor Legion especially.
Yeah.
And they actually both go with this alt skin. I hate with a passion this alt skin, but they're going to both go for it.
They both doing just to troll you.
I know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, $1,000 is on the line. This 1 versus 1 matchup will determine who's going to get it. Let's jump in to game number 9.
All right, now this matchup, Soul Stealer versus Soul Stealer, we see already some different things coming out. Limp has bought 3 of the Duck Boots, actually, wants massive agility, wants to get those last hits early. And, of course, if you've been around where I've talked about this matchup specifically, Soul Stealer is a hero that really does – you have to do well in the early portions of this laning phase in order to actually win this lane. And so he wants to get those early last hits. If you look at his damage right now, it's 45 to 51. If you look at White's, it's actually 40 to 46. So obviously Limp has a better chance in getting those last hits. Of course, there are other ways to get them, not just through pure damage. It's using the creep pulling, aggroing the creeps by attacking the hero. Is a very effective tool to actually get those last hits, not necessarily damage. So there's a number of different ways. And actually, if you see already... It's kind of so interesting. He bought an extra health potion there and placing it, but at the same time, having lots of minor totems. So kind of an interesting strategy coming out from White. I like it.
That is.
That's slick.
It's that's his teammate. Yeah, you know, this is that is something. Obviously, we saw Limp doing that when he was playing Gauntlet against that was Leon Black, I believe. In the matchup, he won there, and that was a lot of fun to watch. You know, see him just having the regen nearby, so that he could just go back, pick it up, use it, and then go back with the minor totem. As we said, every single stat counts. So here we go. Game number 9. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. The final game, Whitalaba versus Limp here. Whoever wins this, their team will be taking home $1,000. The losing team, unfortunately, going to be going home with nothing and knocked off. In tdM's case, they'd be knocked off as their reigning champions, of course. TteS Esports trying to become the new champions here in this 1vs1 Showmatch series. So here we go. Off the bat, again, creep kills, especially in this matchup, are so crucial off the bat. Limp so far already taken 2 down. Definitely the better start for him. There's another deny. It's looking like a strong start for Limp so far. Whitalaba needs to pick it up here.
Yeah, I know. This is the already has 4 creeps, both denies and creep kills. So his triple duck boot strategy has really proven to pay off. He is now sitting at 3-2 compared to 0-0. Finally, White gets his first creep kill right there, and it's still early on. But yeah, Limp is off to a fantastic start here, and that's going to propel him here for the rest of this matchup.
You see right there. Okay, gets another deny, but again, they're already 6 compared to 3 in total now. No doubt in favor, and there we go with another one for Limp. So yeah, he's nearly maxed out. I believe he is maxed out actually. With the 7 souls, of course, at that level 1 Soul Stealer. It's actually 8, so yeah, it needs the 1 more. But anyways, Whitalaba is going to hit level 2 right there, and of course going to pick up those Demon Hands, I'm sure. There we go. And the Demon Hands, even though you might be down early on, the Demon Hands could be the difference maker with that said. So although it's definitely a stronger start here for Limp, no doubt, that's where Whitalaba definitely still has a chance. And getting that level 3, the level 2 Demon Hands, and trying to maybe catch Limp out of position. But it is no doubt favor right now in favor of Limp, as he's going to try to go for another one right there, missing that, but going to pick up one on the Warlock at the last second. So
I think White actually helped him get that creep kill, but he does have the level advantage, and now he's going to play up. And this is the scary part of a Soul Stealer. See, if you man up as a level 2 Soul Stealer against a 3, obviously your Demon Hands are not leveled up, and you simply can't do it. So Limp is going to take this really, really well. We see a lot of damage already coming out to White. He's still using those hands, but they're only level 1. He actually used it for a CS primarily. He does have the damage from those hands to actually match him, but he's taking too much damage already. Seeing lots of aggression coming out from White. Or coming out from his, but Limp almost gets the kill. I thought it was going to be a kill, but White with his extra HP kind of strategy here does save him right there. Does pop the health potion.
You know what? That one minor totem. That one minor totem made the difference right there for Whitalaba, I believe. So there you go. Goes to show you. See right here, and actually Limp is the one that has to fall back and start using some regen. He's going to eat some trees. Doesn't have a health potion. He just bought boots, though, and will have that delivered. But Whitalaba trying to take advantage now of maybe getting a little bit of good farm as a result of Limp sitting low on his life. But both do have the level 2 Demon Hands, so they need to be careful about that. Of course, level 4 Limp versus a level 3 Whitalaba currently, as he too just purchases his boots and should be on the way in the near future. There we go, the double Demon Hand. Not going to be nearly enough for the kill, though, so Limp will fall back and eat some more trees while he's at it. But the courier is being delivered in favor of Whitalaba. Mana potions on top of the boost being delivered. He doesn't have any regen currently, so that's actually kind of risky there. He wants the mana potions for the kill, but you gotta, he's sitting at just over half life now. A couple of Demon Hands and an auto attack. He could be dead. In fact, Limp tried to set that up right here, but Whitalaba falling back as he should, and we'll be fine for now. But here's the boots being delivered and the mana potions, as we see right there.
Yeah, he actually uses one, places the other one on the ground. Oh, but Limp cancels it immediately, so he's going to have to use it right away. He needs to use that Courier for a health potion immediately. Of course, Limp being level 5 now has the extra damage from those hands. Is using that, he gets the kill! The W barely hits him, and he uses the long-range nuke to finish him off. So Limp taking this win and securing a back-to-back victory for TDM.
Limp does it. Wow, what a series. Wow. 4 players in a row. He takes out himself. And, I mean, that secured the victory, of course, for Trademark Esports. You got how close that was. Again, especially with that Bubbles matchup. That was insane. Right here, it just seemed like Whitetalaba, you know, he got up to the slow start. And I said, as especially in a Soul Stealer, as you see right there on the replay, of what exactly happened. I mean, just Limp got the position. He got the level 3 Demon Hands first. And Limp picks up the quad kill for the team. Not an annihilation, but the quad kill at least. And TDM comes back and wins the series 5-4 as a result.
That was literally maximum damage of those Demon Hands. If you saw in that replay, it looked like it wasn't even going to hit.
Yeah.
But he knew he got the first one, so he knew that he was going to get the second one if he cast it right away. And just really well played there by Limp.
No, that was something right there. So, big congratulations to Trademark Esports. I'm sure they're happy once again. Now, I believe the previous time they won, of course, Zai, he went 5-0 against Complexity, and I was told that he actually got all the $1,000. You know, they were like, you know what, you did the work. Why would we take any part of it? So, I'm kind of curious here to see if they do split it up. Obviously, this ended up going all 9 games, so I think it's safe to say you do have to split it up evenly, but Limp, no doubt, MVP status here for Trademark Esports. They were down 4-1, guys. We're looking all the way back at what it was maybe about an hour ago now. They were down 4-1. 1 game needed for TT Esports. Limp steps in and is like, nah, I got this, guys. 5-4 victory in favor of Trademark Esports, and they take this Showmatch series. So a lot of fun these are, guys. I would not be surprised if this is something we definitely continue to do. Obviously, this is our second one here. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to maybe make it into kind of a series here and have fun with it. It seems like the players like it. Obviously, you guys like it. Hell, I like casting it.
And leave us some feedback, of course, guys, on our Twitter or even just the Honcast forums that are now up. And leave us some feedback. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you'd like us to change. Maybe give us some ideas for hero matchups as well. And we'll definitely take those into consideration. So make sure to do that, guys.
Yeah, definitely take care of that. So, well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is pretty much going to draw us to a conclusion here of the cast today. So, obviously, not only the 1-versus-1 show match, but the interview as well that we did with Doc Kaiser, or more so discussion even, that we did with Doc Kaiser as far as the balance discussion goes. That was a lot of fun. We got a lot of information from that. Definitely check that out on VOD if you missed that as soon as possible when it is up. So, you know, again, we had a lot of fun here today. With that said, you know, we set this up. Big part of it was because, you know, we've had a little bit of a break here this week as a result of the Han Tour situation. But on that note, guys, Han Tour is going to be starting this Saturday. And looks like this time everything is going to go well. So
yeah, we got confirmation, and it sounds like everything they found the problem, they fixed it right away. Things are looking really good to go on Saturday, guys. Yeah. So really looking forward to that.
Oh my God! You know, not on top of confirmation, but as well, I also got information that I tweeted about this. I was informed that over 1,000. Yes, take a second, think about what I just said there. Over 1,000 5-man plus teams have officially signed up for the Han Tour qualifiers. I don't think there's any official fact out there for this, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the most teams that have ever signed up for any esports event, at least in a team-based game. I mean, maybe not in solo, but even I don't even know, but at least in a team-based game, it has to be. I mean, over 1,000 5-man plus teams have signed up for the Han Tour qualifiers. That really is ridiculous. So. Oh, man, obviously people are looking forward to having fun with it, as they should be. We're looking forward to covering it, of course, and it does start on Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Central European Time. So I believe that at this point is our next planned cast, so looking forward to that. But until then, check out the VODs. Give us feedback, as you mentioned, on the forums, via our Twitters. On that note, at Tralfon for him.
And at BreakyCPK.
Those are our Twitter accounts. Twitter at Honcast as well. And, of course, the Facebook page, facebook.com/Honcast. So, wrapping things up here. It had a lot of fun, as always. Big congratulations to Trademark Esports once again, especially to Limp, doing 4 games in a row there at the end to make the comeback happen, taking home another $1,000 and they are now your 2-time 1v1 Showmatch champions. We'll see who their next foe may be in line. Have a good night, guys. From Tralf, myself, Breaking CPK, shout out to Killer Orange, shout out to you guys for tuning in as always. We'll see you on Saturday. On tour, baby.